Was Rima, Tejas and Saskin.
Tejas, good numbers. Latha, after 5 quarters of a revenue decline, Tejas has finally reported some growth, 37% higher on a quarter-on-quarter basis. On a year-on-year basis, revenues have gone up by 25%. That is driving an improvement in the margins, and this time the company has reported a profit versus a loss in the prior quarter as well as in the comparable quarter of last year, and the cash on the books has now risen to 300 crores. So good numbers from Tejas, though the stock was up 8% yesterday. Saskin, weak numbers. There was a drop in revenues by 5%. Margins weakened, and that resulted in profits falling by 17%. And the management commentary is that they're cautiously optimistic for the second half. Back to you.
Okay, Mangalam's also here to tell us about some more numbers. Mangalam, over to you.
Well, I have results from companies which are in sectors which have their own funk. We start with Sagar Cements, a 22.5% growth in the revenue, but it's the operating performance, EBITDA up 150%, and as a result of which the net profit has actually grown 10 times from 5 crores to 50 crores. The stock has tripled from March lows, but there is some valuation support coming in from them as well. Apart from that, the other stock I'm watching out for is National Peroxide. The revenue is absolutely flat at around 54 crores, but the EBITDA has jumped from 5 crores to around 18 crores, and as a result of which the net profit too has jumped from 6 crores to 23 crores. See some green on that one.
My God, that's some numbers, Mangalam. Nupur, there's some news on Zee Entertainment.
Well, Zee announces restructuring integrates digital assets and content team. This restructuring is in line with the company's Zee 4.0 strategy. Company formed an integrated content team for creating and serving content across all platforms. Appointed Punit Mishra as President Content and International Markets. So this is in line with what company has been saying, reiterating and restating in every investor call. But the real concerns are related party transaction, additional provisioning, and recently we saw Citi company's group company defaulting on payment dues, and now stock is back to 170, 180 level. So it will be interesting to watch out on this particular corner and company's 4.0 strategy and how it plays out, which includes bringing together all its digital assets under a single roof, including the recent investment in Sugarbox.
Sure. Okay, got that. Let's watch out then. There are pluses and minuses. Nigel, Vedanta and Hindustan Copper today on your radar.
Well, we're watching Vedanta. Remember, shareholders out there will be hoping that they declare a big dividend. But hope is not a data point, so let's give you the data point then. In fact, Hindustan Zinc has declared nearly around 21 rupees as dividend. Now, if Vedanta chooses to pay all the dividend that they receive out, then in fact it amounts to nearly around 15 rupees 70 paise odd. If they choose to pay the entire dividend that they've received, that's the last couple of those dividends, then it's nearly around 27 rupees and 19 paise. Remember, no one is factoring in that they pay out all the dividend that they've received. But we'll keep an eye out on Vedanta. That stock should open up in the green, and it'll be interesting for the next couple of days as well. While for Hindustan Copper, remember, float is very, very minimal because 90% is held by the government of India as well as by LIC, but they're considering fundraising a QIP next week itself, so maybe we could see some green on that stock as well. Back to you.
All right, thanks for that. And now to our favorite segment, Momentumizers, our new segment. Abhishek is here to tell us what's on his list. Abhishek, over to you.
Well, Sonia, housing finance companies are in focus as you are seeing analysts turning positive on housing sector. So the interest rates for both consumers, for customers, it's at the lowest ever, below 7% in some of the buckets. And cost of funds for companies as well has come down drastically, less than 8 to 7% in some of the brackets that they are borrowing. Housing demand has picked up. We have seen the results of Sobha, Oberoi, etc. and the demand picking up in cities like Hyderabad, Bangalore and Mumbai as well, due to Maharashtra state giving up on or lowering the stamp duty fees. Collection trends of housing finance companies has been good. Bajaj Housing Finance has shown that only 1% of loans are yet to be recovered. 99% repayment over there. The three HFC stocks that I have on radar is Canfin Homes, PNB Housing and Repco Home Finance. In this month, while Nifty has risen by 4.6%, Canfin has risen nearly by 13%, PNB over 10% and Repco Home Finance by 16.5%. Yesterday, all the three of them, hit a 5-day high before coming down, but they are near strong support zones. So you can expect a rebound if this support continues to hold. And the stocks offer comfort valuation as all are priced below 2x in terms of price to book value, with maximum re-rating happening in Repco Home Finance. Back to you.
Okay, thanks a lot for that. So that's our new segment, Momentumizers. But let's now hop across to our commodities editor, Manisha Gupta to give us a roundup of all the action that's been happening there. Manisha, hi, good morning. What are you watching today?
Well, it has been a very volatile New York session, and Asia promises to be like that, with the dollar index hitting a 7-week lows versus its peers. You have seen strength come back in case of the precious metal prices. So silver prices gained 2% overnight, and gold was up 1%. It's trading at a 1-week highs right now. There is optimism also over the U.S. aid package, and that has been supportive. A big sharp decline is what we have seen, though, in crude prices. Biggest one-day decline in 3 weeks, 4% of a cut overnight for crude. It's trading in the negative in Asian markets right now as well. The U.S. inventories show a weak demand for refined products. The rising COVID cases do tell you that the demand recovery is going to be quite stretched. And there is a report from Baker Hughes which says that there is significant excess capacity in the global markets, and the inventories are even then rising. So this continues to weigh on. And we also saw speculative positions actually be cut in a very big way. There has been a lot of winding off of the long positions. That continues to weigh on to the space as well.
All right. Thank you very much. The crude part will be watched by Indian markets very closely. Quick break, and we're going to analyze some of the stocks we mentioned with Gurmeet Chadha of Complete Circle Consultants. As well, we will have more experts joining.